I don't have the same dance moves, but it's a little old-time rock and roll. It's been 10 years since I've been to the NewSchools Summit. At the time I came last, I was at Envision Schools in Oakland, reimagining what portfolio assessment could look like. And in some ways, 10 years later, there's a lot of the same. There's a little bit of old-time rock and roll in our lobby, talking about some of the same challenges and opportunities that we've had for 20 or 30 years. But I'm more optimistic than ever that finally the tools and solutions are intersecting with the needs that we've seen in schools for decades. And so at Edtech Insiders, we've been tracking those themes and tools. And it's called Edtech for a reason. The ed comes first, the tech comes second. And now there's an opportunity with building what's next. It used to be they build what's next. Now it is you build what's next. We build what's next. I build what's next. And there's an opportunity then to think about the what's next. If we're going to rebuild the exact same systems that we've had, we're going to have the exact same outcomes. And so 3 ways that tech people think about what's next provide a framework for us to think about what we're building next. So I'm going to use some tech tools here and then apply them to education. So tech people are asking, what's the new stack? Tech people are asking, how do I leverage agents? And tech people are asking, how do I build a harness? The tech stack is really the infrastructure cloud layer. You have the AI layer now, and you have the application layer. And the idea is you can reinvent the new tech stack with AI. Companies are starting that couldn't have been built 4 or 5 years ago. So what's the new tech stack or the new stack of education? Right now, my 2 kids are sitting in classrooms taking standardized state tests. In October, we'll get a report on how those state tests went. I don't think that that is the new stack of education. So imagine yourself, what is the new assessment stack? What would it look like if I had real-time data, competency-based around where my students were? And then ask the further question, because that's really the question today, is who? What if students were building their assessment stack? What if students were managing their own learning outcomes? It's scary. We adults have to give up some of that control. But when we ask the question, what's the new stack in education, it allows us to be freed from our old paradigm. The second question is, how do we leverage agents? Francis mentioned Alpha School. Everyone focuses on what the 2 hours of learning are. But what's more interesting is what happens after that. In agentic workflows, the tech people are thinking not very much about what the agent's doing. They're thinking a lot about what the human's doing. You know, in business, humans are your cost structure. It's also, that's the area where you can have leverage or differentiation. And so we talk about agency or agents around empowering students. And I think there's a really interesting intersection here where we can really think, what's the most human part of education? And how do we create agents, but humans that can do only what humans can do? So if you have a new stack and you're really focused on humans as agents of their own learning and teaching, then the question is harness. So in tech speak, harness is really how you constrain a model and how you build around knowledge and context so that it can serve your purpose. So you have these large generalized models, and then you build a harness around it. And in law or in finance, it is more accurate or more competent. With our kids, that's what we're doing. We're building a harness for them to take all of these tools and harness its power to reach their full potential. Now, what's scary about that is that to build a harness, it's all test and iterate and test and iterate. And so when I think about what school looks like when we change the who can build and we think about what's next, how might we reimagine our stack, reimagine who the agents are, and think about how to harness the full potential of our young people? Thank you so much.